Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another fantastic episode of The Left Wing. I am TJ Whitehead, powers taken not given, joined as always by John Cooper Paz of Counterpoint Politics. How are you doing today, my friend?
Doing well, TJ. Disappointed you didn't have a special
Oh,
name for me today, but even the greats have to take a day off.
yeah, it happens. Jordan didn't hit 100% of his shots. This is just something that happens from time to time. And, all the fellas out there, I'm sure there were moments where you couldn't rise to the occasion. It happens to the best of us. So, you know what? It's weird to say that about me and John now that I say that out loud. Kind of an odd metaphor. Maybe I should have gone a different route there. Anyway, let's get on the show. How you been, man? How you been this last week?
Been good. I'm hoping to not have as depressing of a show as our last Tuesday Q&A show. So that's on you, audience. Make sure to ask us questions for us to answer so we don't turn this into a group therapy session again. But no, I've been good. It's been snowing here. It's very cold and snowy. And, once Christmas ends, it's exciting because Christmas is around the corner. It's like the snow on the ground. Once it ends, that snow is just going to feel like an anvil around my neck. I hate cold feeling. It's fun and exciting right now, but it wears thin.
Snow is like that. Snow has a very short shelf life for enjoyability. That it's like when you're a child and it doesn't matter. You think, oh, snow is great. That means I get off from school and I get to go outside and play. It's positive all around. Then you get older and snow starts to become kind of a burden. It's pretty for a couple of hours. You go outside, you got the clean snow, and it's gorgeous. It's really silent outside because there's less traffic. There's fewer things going on, and the snow dampens a lot of the sound. But then the trucks come out, and you start getting 9-foot piles of brown sludge in parking lots that stay there until June. It's just terrible. And then of course you got the driving hazards involved. It's just awful. So yeah, I always say that I'm good with snow exactly one day out of the year. Christmas Day, I want snow. Other than that, I can do without it.
I have one good snow in me a year, and then after that, they just suck. Colby asked us a question, and it will allow me to go on a little rant, if you don't mind, TJ.
Let's go.
Because he asked, John, will you be setting up a gamer defense fund? Let me tell you about this bullshit of late-stage capitalist hellscape that I've been through. Not that it's that big a deal. It's just it's the principle.
Sounds like it's going to be a big deal, John.
I'm on my computer. I'm playing Street Fighter on my computer, and I use the same controller for my computer and my PlayStation. And I'm playing it, and I hear the fucking PlayStation. I'm like, that's weird. Must have accidentally bumped something. I don't know. And then I keep playing, and I get a note. I get an email from my credit card. You've been charged $85 on PlayStation Network, TJ. I open up my PlayStation. It's on God of War, game I bought years ago. I haven't played in a long time. I go to my downloads, no new downloads. Go to my transaction history. You bought God of War Ragnarok Digital Deluxe Edition for $85. It's somehow purchased while I was hitting buttons for my computer game. No fucking clue. I called Sony customer service. Surely this must be refundable. This is clearly a mistake. I didn't buy an $85 version of a game I already own. No, they won't give it to me. They say because the game is already downloaded, they cannot issue a refund. And I was like, but the game was already downloaded 2 years ago. Check your system to see when the game was downloaded. They're like, sorry, nothing we can do about it. And then they hung up on me, TJ. They hung up on me. I've never been hung up on before by customer fucking service. I didn't even know that was legal. Isn't that just fucking insane? Again, it's not a big deal. It's $85. It's just very annoying to now own the digital deluxe version of a game I already owned for $85.
Wait, you were playing Street Fighter, and while you were
on my PC, the controller was connected by a cable to my PC, and somehow while playing Street Fighter, I purchased a game on my PlayStation, which was totally unbeknownst to me.
Oh, so was it an accident? Like it was hooked to the PlayStation as well, or
I guess, yeah, I guess like maybe it got unplugged for a second, and so like it just Bluetooth to the PlayStation. I'm really not sure the technical dimensions of how it happened. All I know is that the game was fucking purchased somehow, some way.
Oh no, that's shitty, and they hung up on you. Wait,
they hung up on me. I couldn't believe it. They're just like, oh well, there's nothing we can do here, and this issue is now resolved. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. And they hung up.
They said the game so it. How long did it take to download the game? I mean,
that's the thing, TJ. It didn't.
Oh,
There
because
was
you
no
already owned it.
download.
Oh,
It was
'cause you already...
already downloaded because I owned the base version of the game, and it purchased an $85 digital deluxe edition with the DLC. The DLC wasn't downloaded. Nothing was downloaded, TJ, but it says
What the
because
fuck?
the game was downloaded, it counts. So if you ever accidentally purchase a digital deluxe upgrade of a game you already own and have downloaded, there's no recourse for you, TJ.
Damn, that sucks. Is there any? I guess there's nothing you can do about this, huh?
If I was like not a lazy person, I could take them to small claims court and they'd probably give me the $85 back instead of going through the fucking claims. But like, I don't think I'm gonna do that. That's just a lot of work for $85 on my part. So I think I'm just gonna, never play that DLC I just purchased for $85.
That's shitty. That's shitty.
I bought the original game on sale too for like $40. I went back and checked.
Well, I gotta say, you might as well play the DLC then. I mean, I played the God of War DLC. It's not bad. God of War Ragnarok's a good game. So
Rachel here commented that's bullshit. You got to get Amex. So I am gonna stick my credit card on them. I'm gonna tell them I didn't purchase that and just let the kaiju's fight. And if I lose, I lose. But yeah, that's my plan right now. But that's enough about me, TJ.
I was just thinking that I can think of one person who had a worse weekend than you did, and that would be Rob Reiner and the situation with him.
Colby just told me the DLC is free. Are you fucking shitting me? Like, what the fuck was in the digital deluxe edition? Why is it $85?
You know what? Colby's right. The DLC was free. It was Valhalla. It was free. That's right. I forgot about that. I forgot the DLC was free because it was refreshing when it happened. It's listen, look at that.
Let me tell you something. It wasn't free. If you purchased the digital deluxe edition, that was $85.
I wonder what the digital deluxe edition came with more armor,
like cosmetics or something. Yeah, it's something dumb. Yeah.
Sure. Before we go into Rob Reiner story, what did you think of God of War Ragnarok, the game?
So I never actually beat it. I kind of stopped halfway through. Now I kind of intend to play it now. I guess it's at the top of the list. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed the cinematics and everything. I thought I loved the first one. I loved I loved the original God of War games. Loved the remake. This one, just the gameplay just felt, I don't know, just I wasn't enjoying it as much.
Wait, did you play the new remake God of War, the first remake God of War?
Yeah, I played all of the God of War.
And so you liked that one?
I liked that. Yeah, I did like that one. I don't know if it was the situation where just like I hyped it up in my mind. I loved it so much, and then it fell a little flat when I played other games. Like it was always like, okay, I'm playing a Dark Souls-esque action game that isn't as good as Dark Souls. That's fine. I just enjoyed the experience of the first God of War. I don't know. I might play it on an easier difficulty too. Like I was playing on a hard difficulty, and I feel like that just like it took too many hits to kill shit, and it kind of destroyed the Kratos power fantasy, I guess.
Yeah, I can see that being an issue because the original God of War games, Kratos was a wrecking machine. There was just nothing that could get in his way. It was rare to lose if you weren't fighting like a boss character. It was hard. Like they made him, and the character was written so differently that Kratos was younger and he was angry. He was like more of an anti-hero. Like he wasn't a good guy. You would never look at Kratos in the old games and say, oh, this guy is out on a virtuous quest. You understood why he was mad at the gods and the gods had it coming, but he was a murderous, monster.
Just as bad as everyone he was killing.
Exactly. He was no better than the other gods. And so that was interesting. And then I actually didn't play the first remake or the first new God of War. I don't think I even knew it was out there. And I heard about Ragnarok and I played it and I said, I really enjoyed it. And I went back and played the second one, the first one second. But it did take me some time to get used to old father figure Kratos. That was very strange, but it worked. It kind of worked.
I kind of like him better. I like
do
this
too. I do
Kratos
too.
better. He's more satisfying to just play as. It's something about just old men beating the shit out of everyone is a really satisfying trope. Like any movie or game about old retired grizzled vet is pulled out of retirement to kill a bunch of random motherfuckers. That trope is all day, every day for me, TJ.
It is great, but like you said, it's difficult if that's not what you're used to. Like Kratos having not like necessarily dad bod, but as close to dad bod as you can get for a God of War. Like he was chunkier and bigger and everything. He wasn't this svelte, bald, clean shaven, steely eyed, stone cold, flat belly killer. And you're like, oh, he's kind of grumpy and old and everything. And Colby also wrote, John is not a fan of Atreus gameplay. Did you like that part?
I've been enjoying it thus far. Like, it's just a nice little palette cleanser. I would say, like, I know some people hate it, but I think it's pretty snappy.
I didn't mind it nearly as much as of course it's not as fun as being Kratos, but it wasn't like, oh, this ruined the game for me. I never got that feeling, which a lot of people really hated that part. If the whole game would have been like that, I don't think. But for the story, and the story was great. I liked it a lot.
I think the real problem for me is the first one. The way, for those of you who've never played the game, and I promise we'll move on to politics after this, but like they do this very special thing where it never cuts. There's no cut. There's no fade to black. The camera follows your character from behind the whole time you enter a cutscene. The camera just starts moving around. Like, it is really immersive and incredible storytelling experience. And I just felt like maybe that blew my mind the first one. By the second one, I kind of it was old hat at the point and it didn't impress me as much. But I don't know. Colby with another one here. I don't know if you guys have a lot of off the top of your head, but do you guys have any guests you'd love to get on the show? Famous, not famous, controversial? That's a good question, TJ. I like that question. Any guests in particular that you want to get on the show? I feel like let's make this reason. Like, I would love to have Donald Trump on the show. That would be fucking wonderful. But like anyone that you think would be realistic that like we could potentially get on the show, that would be cool.
I don't know. I'd have to think about.
And obviously, we're stretching here, but
yeah,
that even seems feasible.
Well, honestly, the ones that I'd want to have on the most are probably people we've already talked to, because I want to make sure the show flows well. And so many times we've had people on here, people with massive followings, people with like important positions and stuff, and we've gone into shows thinking this show is going to be a killer. This guest is going to be awesome, and it sucked. And we always tell the guests they did a great job. We always said it was fun, but it isn't. And so, like, the people on top of my list are people who I know can come in and just clean up, and the show will be great. I don't know. We had Leah on the show, I feel like, in 2 years or something, and she's way high up on the list of people that I want back on the show. Corey Bradford is amazing having on the show.
Ooh, yeah.
Who else was really? I don't know. The list is very long, but famous people, I don't know. I'd have to think about that because I'm not sure I'd enjoy it that much.
I want that Brian Said guy. I want him back on the show.
Brian Said, that's right, from the early days of the Left Wing.
Actually, Desmond. I would love to have Desmond back on the show.
I was right about to say Desmond.
Yeah.
You took the word. I was like,
we should reach out to him and be like, yo, you want to come back on the show?
I would love to have Desmond on the show. Like, Desmond, I don't know. Like, when Desmond left, like, we lost something in the show in that John and I have discussed it many times because we've had guests that have been Desmond-esque, because John and I are kind of similar in the way we approach the news stories and our thought process. Even the jokes we make, they're pretty consistent. But if we have someone, I hesitate to say nerdy. Nerdy's not the word I'm looking for. Someone who's just a little more, straight and narrow down the middle, like actual newsy. I think that fits in really well. So yeah.
Yeah. Kyle asks us, what do you guys think of the Norns? Is that a God of War question?
I have no idea what they're talking about.
I do not know what the Norns are, so we don't have thoughts on the Norns.
We aren't as big fans of God of War as we thought, I guess. I don't know what the Norns are.
That's the only thing I can think of, but yeah, I don't know.
I'll tell you one thing. I can't believe we spent 15 minutes talking about God of War so far. One thing that bothered me about God of War, and this isn't the fault of God of War because this exists in other media too, is Kratos' son. Is it Atreus? Is that his name?
Atreus, yeah.
Okay, Atreus, his son. He's Loki. I don't know if you got that far, John, but he's Loki.
No, yeah, that's the first game.
Okay, all right. Oh, that's right, from the first game. But anyway, his mom is dead, and Loki is from the ice giants, or not the ice giants, but the giants or whatever. And so, but he's not a giant. He's a regular sized person. So is his mom. And apparently the giants are a race of people. Some of them are giants and some of them are regular size and they have magic abilities. That's bullshit. You should call them something else then. Just because some people happen to be tall and giants in this bloodline does not mean you can name them all giants. It's very confusing. I had to look it up because they never really explained it. Not in the second game, at least when I played.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's just a Norse mythology thing.
It's dumb. So it's stupid.
I just looked it up. The Norns are like the Fates in Greek mythology, kind of. They're
Oh, the Fates. I remember them.
Yeah, and so Kyle asked, "Do you think they were an interesting take on fate or free will, or annoying people who set events into motion and take no responsibility?" I haven't gotten the far enough to meet
I
the
saw
norm.
them.
I don't think so. I do not have an answer for you.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, the fates don't predict the future. They say that your actions are just so predictable, it's easy to say what's going to happen. And so they like finish people's sentences when they start with right at the same time they're saying it. They say, "Oh, you're going to do this. You're saying you won't. I'm telling you you're going to do it. You're still going to do it." And I thought it was kind of an interesting way to say that, oh, you do have free will, but the way that your actions are, it's kind of easy to tell. I don't know. I don't think free will exists. I think I can categorically kind of say that, but it's a video game, so it was
That
pretty
that
fun.
that was my next question, and Nancy asked religious standpoint. I don't know if she's talking about the actual Norse mythology or religion in general or whatnot, but it is kind of a religious question of that free will thing. You're in the no free will camp. I
No,
think I'm also there, but why are you there?
I'm in the no free will camp for two reasons. I'll start with the weakest one, I think, and that is your actions are just a product of chemical processes, and you can't control how those chemical processes work. You have no it's an illusion thinking that you're making these decisions, and you can't control your environment. You can't control anything around you, and you're just acting based upon how the outside world affects you. That's the weak one, I think. The strong one, if you ask me, is the theory of relativity and the fact that the term now doesn't really mean anything because let's say I am standing here, or sitting here in Indiana, and then John hops on a starship and starts moving at 99% the speed of light. Technically, we're both in right now, but to John, now it's going to get a lot slower. And so, even though we exist at the exact same time, I'm going to be moving. The faster you move through space, the slower you move through time. So, when John starts rocketing at the speed of light, time is going to go infinitely slower to him. In fact, if he does reach the speed of light, time will cease entirely. So, if you have different parts of the universe that are now and different objects moving at different speeds, now doesn't exist. So the past, present, and future all exist at the exact same time. Free will can't possibly exist if the future exists right now and the past exists right along beside it. I think it's pretty conclusive when you look at it that way that this is like time is just our brain trying to process the fact that we're living through like a movie and we're hitting play. We're going through. We don't know how the movie's going to end, but it's going to end one way and we have no control over it. What are your thoughts, John?
So I agree mostly with the no free will thing, but for different reasons. Because I think that your reasoning there is makes sense, but I feel like it's one of those there's too many unknown unknowns. Like I would submit myself to the you can't understand how God works reasoning when it comes to like four-dimensional thinking. Like if you're gonna tell me this can't happen because time isn't just now, maybe, but I can't really think along that fourth dimension at all to really be confident in saying it can or cannot happen. My thing with free will is just like everything is determined by another thing. Like as you said, I actually think your first explanation is stronger. Like we don't even understand how our brains function. How can we possibly think that we have free will when it's just a consequence of other actions that occurred before us? If you were to hypothetically create the most intelligent artificial intelligence supercomputer to possibly exist that could analyze the outcomes of every single action, it would theoretically be able to predict every outcome from the Big Bang. It's just already set in motion. As much as we like to think we have free will, how can we even prove that? Like it just seems like most of outcomes are determined by things completely outside of your control, and even what we believe to be in our control is also determined by external factors out of our control. So do we have any free will? Maybe. Do I think it matters that much? Fuck no.
Yeah, I would submit we don't have any, but I agree. This is Rachel Bella here says, "Damn guys, I turned in to write an email and I came back for the free will philosophy fire." This is another great guest we had, authentically ADH me. She was a great guest too. I think she would be good to have on the show as well sometime. A lot of great guests here. And then we have what is great comments here.
Nothing to comment, guys. It's
Yeah,
wonderful.
this is great.
We never know what we're going to get on our Tuesday Q&A. So sometimes me and TJ just riffing, and sometimes we get a huge comment section. And it's easier to do the latter.
The giants in Norse mythology were actually of varying size. Many were large. Yeah, that's dumb. That's what we say. Yeah, I think that's stupid. I think they need a different name. I got that part. I just like Colby. I wasn't confused by that. I just think, not Colby, but who in KM-16? I hate that. I don't know about you, John, but my feed, it doesn't show the names anymore, and it bugs the shit out of me. And here,
yeah, no, just shows like the ats now.
I hate that.
Maybe that's a consequence of the vertical. I don't know.
Maybe I don't know.
Who knows?
That's what TJ took out.
Like if you are a regular commenter who like drop your name, like
you know who you are.
Kyle did last week, so I know who Kyle is. But,
okay,
definitely drop your name if you're a regular.
This is Colby. Colbrus, I'm pretty sure this is Colby. He's like,
yeah, it's Colby. Yeah.
All right, that's what TJ took out of the game. Height differences. Listen, it's a legitimate gripe. Okay, it's nonsense. It's been bothering me ever since. I didn't know about this until the Marvel movies, and then they kept referring to Loki as an ice giant. I said, He's a regular sized dude. I mean, Ice Giant, he's not even like 7 feet tall. Like barely. I was like, it's just a regular person. It's, oh well, he's a Jordan. No, sorry, you don't get to call yourself that if not everybody fits that description. What do we have here?
So Southern bred, cornbread fed. The left wing. 7 folks here watching these goofy fucking clowns acting like it's an audience. Well, that's true, but you are one of them. So I don't really know what that makes you at this point. So I always love the people who comment on my shit like you suck, bro. Like just like, okay, John, you're here though. Like what am I supposed to do with that?
That is so weird, right? Isn't that strange? Because I gotta say, I've never had any desire to watch right-wing content, and I'm certainly not gonna hunt down small right-wing content creators and shit talk them. I just don't get it. Like I would get no pleasure out of that. I don't understand what's happening here. I wouldn't do it to large ones either, but it seems like a particular waste of time to go out of ones that aren't, particularly well known. That's odd. They were Jotnar, a species that are typical. Why do I keep going with this shit? Okay, let me see.
Yeah, we're cutting the God of War talk. No more God of War talk. This is a no more God of War podcast.
Someone wrote something about free will I was looking for. I can't find it.
Rachel, was it Rachel's? Because she said, I feel like the argument that we don't have free will is so compelling, but it also ironically gives me a massive anxiety as a teacher because now I don't have free will myself, but I'm influencing the experience of the newer humans. So that's the funny thing. You should act as if you have free will. Whether or not you actually believe you have free will, it's kind of what Pascal's wager scenario where like if you're going to end up in the same place either way, if you don't have free will, okay, cool, no harm done. But if you do have free will and you act as if you don't, you could really fuck up your life and the lives of other people. So you might as well act as if you have free will, but you are kind of you could just fuck up just a kid's like as a teacher. You could ruin the rest of it. You could massively determine the rest of their life, and there's nothing they can do about it. How free is their will really? How much of my will is my own will, or just a reflection of all of the individuals who raised me, who are in then turn a reflection of all of the individuals who raised them?
Oh, well, also, I think it helps to define the terms here of what exactly we mean by free will. Because I don't know if everyone has the same definition of this. I recall hearing some person say that, we don't have free will because do you want to fly? You can't fly, can you? I said, okay, well, that's not what I think of when I think free will. I don't have the ability of self-powered flight, but I don't think that's a limitation on my free will. That's just, a consequence of being a person. So does free will mean you're inhibited from doing anything? Or does free will mean were you capable of making a different choice than the one you made? Which is an impossible question to answer. Yeah. I think that you have to kind of work your way to it. But you're right. I think that I don't believe we have free will, but we have no choice but to act as if we do. I can't set up a court system and say, well, no one gets punished because it wasn't their choice. They don't have free will. I can't do that. That's not a decision that makes any sense to me. My free will limits me from doing something like that. That's not an option at all. So it is an interesting topic, but it is one of those questions that's kind of a waste of time. Like you said, John, it's a question that exists to be had. It's an argument that exists to be had that doesn't exist to be solved. Kind of like who is the greatest basketball player of all time. kind of a ridiculous question. There's no definitive answer to it, but it is fun to talk about.
TJ, we're sitting here on a YouTube live stream to our audience talking about fucking God of War. Like, who are we to say what is a waste of time and what is not?
There's no answer coming. There's no one that's going to win this. It is just fun to have. Hugh Jazz, I recognize you because of your avatar. I recognize that for your so the Simpsons character or whatever. But what else we got here? Who do we see?
Colby asked a good question here. Does free will make old people spontaneously die because of Trump derangement syndrome?
Well, I don't know about that. What is I don't know what that means.
Okay, because he said this is from Kyle. Free will has minimum alternative possibility. You have a choice between coffee and tea. The probabilities for each is between 1 and 0, not exactly 0 or 1. 0 is less than the choice is less than 1. Kyle, that's going to be this. We can't do this over YouTube comment section. This is too complicated to convey over a YouTube comment section. Well, we're also hosting the show, but send us the whole argument, Kyle, on our Gmail at the leftwing@gmail.com, or the leftwing pod is the leftwing pod. I should really write this down somewhere. It's right next to my computer, so I say it. Right. Well, send it to both the leftwing pod and the leftwing@gmail.com, and you will get us, Kyle.
Well, the no-brainer has good news for the both of us. You're gonna love knowing this. Jesus loves you. Jesus loves you so much.
An accent?
What?
Oh no, that's just a mark on my computer. It looked like it's like a little fleck on my computer.
No,
yeah.
Jesus loves you so much he died for your sins. Does he love me enough to appear in front of me and prove his existence? That's all I need. I don't need him to suffer with a crucifixion, a cat of nine tails, taking on the sins of humanity, giving up the ghost. I don't need any of that. Just show up. If he showed up right behind me, that'd be great. That'd be amazing right now. I would love it. He doesn't love me enough to prove he's real, and so I don't know. The rest kind of matters to me, my friend.
Yeah, so like Jesus would die for my sins, sure, but would he blow every gorilla for my sins? I don't know. That is a question to be answered.
Well, he is God, right? I mean, he can do anything. There's nothing stopping him from doing that other than his own free will. God would have free will, I guess, in this scenario. See, Rachel highly recommends David Eagleman's book Incognito for people who want to explore free will from a neuroscience perspective. Well, Rachel, I have bad news that you already know. You know me well enough.
TJ doesn't read.
You don't. I don't have to tell you. She already knows that. I think last time she was on the show, she did recommend a book. She said, "Well, TJ, I know you're not going to read it, but I'm going to recommend a book anyway." But okay. So speaking of, thank you. Yep, she called it. There you go. All right. So speaking of which, sorry, one more thing. Well, we'll get to Rob Reiner, I swear. Oh my God.
I want to talk about Rob Reiner.
How could I forget? Are you guys watching Pluribus? The whole show is about it. I have not watched Pluribus. For those of you wondering what Pluribus is a show that was created by Vince Gilligan, the creator of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. 2 shows that I could not recommend more. Like amazing, start to finish. The entire Breaking Bad universe is fantastic. And Pluribus, I don't know anything about the show other than that it was created by Vince Gilligan, and that the main character of the show is the actor who played Kim in Better Call Saul. And I loved her, Rhea Seehorn, that's her name. But I have not seen the show, and I've heard a lot of great things about it. John, have you run across Pluribus?
So I run across, it's on Apple TV. So I will buy Apple TV for a month when Ted Lasso season 4 comes out, and I will also watch Pluribus at that time. Apple TV, you're getting 1 month of my year. That's it. You're not getting more than that. You don't have enough good content for me to pay for your subscription constantly. It's the problem with their entire business model is they're just going for like the high profile big hits, but that doesn't work for a year-round streaming service, because once I'm done your show that I'm hooked on, there's not anything else there for me to watch. So I'm just not going to buy it. Like, that's the problem, PJ. I would love to watch Pluribus. If Pluribus was on any other platform, I would have watched it all already. But Apple TV, what am I going to do?
I don't know. That's kind of the problem with streaming services in general, honestly. I think that every streaming service I have for 2 or 3 shows and or things that I might. Amazon Prime is very good, although it's not because you gotta buy stuff sometimes. Still,
It's the
it's
ads
not even.
now.
Yeah,
It's the fucking
yeah.
ads now. But it comes for free with my Prime subscription. So
It's actually you're right.
I'm gonna have it until it stops being free with my Prime subscription. At which point, it will become an Apple TV. Where when Has Been Hotel new season comes out, I'll buy that month. When The Boys comes out, I'll buy that month. Other than that, I don't need it.
Yeah. Has Been Hotel show I never watched either. Invincible I love. I only heard about Has Been Hotel because another great guest we had, Serafina, she does videos on Has Been Hotel all the time.
It's so good, TJ.
I've never seen it, but
you gotta watch it. Then we got to do a Left Wing Film Club about it because it is so fucking good.
Apparently I'm the last one to get on this bus with Has Been Hotel here. Oh, Rachel hated Pluribus personally. Couldn't watch most of it. Damn, that's sad to hear. But Apple TV, I did subscribe to Apple TV yesterday for a 7-day free subscription because I wanted to watch A Charlie Brown Christmas, and I'm canceling it. Very soon.
You might as well watch Pluribus while you got it. Like you love Vince Gilligan.
You're right. Well, is it over? Because I don't want to watch 2 or I'll just pirate it. Can I say that on YouTube? Yeah, I'll just pirate it. That's what I do when. Yeah.
He means he'll watch it with a pirate hat on. That's what he meant by pirated YouTube session.
I got this external hard drive here. Gotten a lot of good use out of it. Watching a lot of great shows. Okay, great shows, great entertainment, great movie. I watched Birth of a Nation this weekend to prepare. Okay. No joke, though. John and we talked about this,
TJ,
right?
Set a deadline. Set a deadline for when we're going to do Birth of a Nation. And
here's the problem.
By then, if we don't set a deadline, I'm never going to watch it.
Okay. This is a bad time. End of the year. How about January 15th, 1 month from now? That's what
15th, I'm putting it on my calendar.
Okay. And I don't know if that's Monday or
Birth of a Nation.
Listen, huge ass, a real fan, bringing up that I didn't know we talked about that live, but Birth of a Nation, I watched it in its entirety for the first time last month, maybe the month before. October. It was right after your wedding. Heather and I watched it, half of it on the plane on the way back, and it's like 3.5 hours long. It is a very long film, but it's good. It's good. I hate to say it, but like the directors were horrible people. The entire thing is a lost cause, Southern racist diatribe and polemic against black people in general. But the story is well told and the cinematography looks great for 1960. I would love to talk about it with John. And you can see how a lot of films and a lot of politics and a lot of media and culture were influenced by this movie. I'd love for you to watch it sometime.
I cannot wait to talk to my black friend about Birth of a Nation.
Oh, it's going to be great. Oh, I should get another
cinematography is.
We should get another black host on here and pull up.
We definitely should for that episode, just to watch me squirm the whole time. So here's a good question. Lord Alcatraz, did you vote for Kamala? TJ, did you vote for Kamala?
Yes. Of course, absolutely.
Do you condemn Hamas?
Do I condemn Hamas? No.
yes, we did vote for Kamala. Our position on Kamala is fuck her, but that is correct.
It's just okay. You know what? This reminds me kind of another thing I've been seeing a lot with. So the Texas redistricting plan has gone through. It was rejected by the courts. The Supreme Court reversed it, and now they're good to go. And this has wiped Jasmine Crockett's seat out of existence. So Jasmine Crockett says that she's going to run for Senate now in Texas. And I've seen a few videos of people saying that I don't even know if they're Texans or not, honestly. Now I think about it, it's that, don't vote for Jasmine Crockett because she supports Israel and everything like that. And unless there's a candidate running like against Crockett with a decent chance of winning with who is not a Zionist, I don't understand that process here. I just don't get it. It reminds me a lot of the anti-Kamala folks is that, well, we can't support. Okay, what's your plan B? Your plan A sounds great. Like your plan A sounds fantastic. I support the morality of it. But your plan B, the only other plan seems to be a lot worse. Like unless you can show me something that will result in a better result than the Democrat winning, who's a Zionist, I don't know why we should support it.
Anyone who is like my size following or larger who will say something like that, like, no, don't vote for Jasmine Crockett in the Texas Senate because of her stance on Israel, I don't take you seriously.
I don't.
Like if you're like some like random person online, I believe that you actually in your heart of hearts believe that. If you like otherwise I believe you're part of some campaign. And I'm not even saying like some APAC fund of bullshit. I'm saying like there are many false flag operations and influence things that you can get a part of once you get to a certain size that like will just coordinate these messaging and you'll take it and you'll run with it. But I don't believe you actually believe that. I don't believe that anyone who is sitting down thinking real long and hard about it and going, you know what? I'd rather not vote for Jasmine Crockett in this fucking Texas Senate seat and let a Republican win because she supports. Get the fuck out of here. I fucking hate Israel as much as the next guy. If I had the choice between Jasmine Crockett in the fucking Texas Senate and literally any Republican, I'm going for Jasmine fucking Crockett, and it's dumb to believe otherwise.
KM-6 brought up a decent point. It's a primary. There are people you can vote for. Yeah. Who? I'm not being an asshole here. I'm not. Like if you have someone say, hey, this is a person running that is very anti-Israel in the Democratic primary, and they have a chance of winning. You tell me someone who has 9 votes, or whatever. All right, maybe that's a moral stance to do, but I'd love to hear it, because if it's just like, don't support this person because of this terrible policy, listen, I understand where you're coming from. Morally, I think you're, well, at least on the right path. I don't know about correct, but yeah, you got to show me something that's an actual plan. That's all I'm going to say.
And I've heard this James Tellerico is the other big name. Again, I'm not going to invest myself in Texas state Democratic primary politics until like we get closer to it. But I've heard this name before. I've also heard other people, like, isn't he pro? I don't fucking know. Again, it doesn't matter. The point here is the people who instantly went out against
instantly.
What are you doing here, guys?
Yeah.
It just screams something's up here, because that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, how can you again, like if you're going to be anti-Israel, fine. Jasmine Crockett isn't anywhere close to like the Democratic spokesperson for Israel, like not even fucking close. So what are we doing here with the instant attacks? It just smells fishy to me. That's all I'm saying.
And K1-6, I think Tallarico, he is not a solid said a lot about Israel. I don't know if he's better. I would need to read more. I'm also not a Texan. That is that's where I come from. I'm not a Texan. And these people talking a lot of them aren't Texans either. I know, this is from California. This person's in New York. This person's, what they do on top of this Texas thing, or why are you so, I don't know. It's just, it is kind of strange to me.
Colby says Beto at work, October surprise. Let's keep our options open. He can do it one of these days, TJ. He can do it. I believe in him.
Beto O'Rourke, man, there's a name I haven't heard in a long, long time. Robert Francis O'Rourke. Oh God, yeah. So sorry, but
never understood why he was a thing. I never
did either.
Charisma of a fucking watermelon. Like, I don't even understand why he was a thing.
His charisma was okay, I guess. I don't think it was that bad. It was just that he never seemed to be like, oh, this guy's the future right here. Like, he was always standing on a table. I remember that was kind of his thing. He was always standing on a table in his events and stuff. And he got waxed in both the races he ran in, and saying, "Oh, this guy's just kind of a loser. I don't know if he has what it takes." But he was one of this guy's the future of the Democratic Party. Like, all right, if you say so.
If you say so, bro.
Okay, right. So
Rob Reiner, TJ.
Rob Reiner. I first heard that Rob Reiner had died. I was scrolling through Twitter the day after it happened. I can't remember what day it happened, but I ran across a tweet from Jim Norton, and Jim Norton said that, hey, you can be, it's all right to be sad about Rob Reiner's death without saying that you disagree with his politics. No one gives a shit. That's how Rob Reiner died. What happened? And then, boy, was I shocked to find out how he died. I was not ready for that. I thought he was an older guy, heart attack, who knows? I didn't know. I've been keeping up with the Rob Reiner health, but wow. Stabbed to death or throat slit by his own son. And there were pictures. He did a movie with his son, and like you see them talking together and everything. I said, what the fuck happened? So kind of wild, kind of insane. And then I saw all the conservatives tweeting out stuff saying, oh, well, you're not going to see any right wingers stating that, saying horrible things about Rob Reiner. You'll never see that. First off, yes, you did. Yes, you guys know you fucking did. But here's the difference between like the Kirk murder and the Rob Reiner murder, is that when Charlie Kirk was killed, you had fucking nobodies like me making jokes about it and clowning on him and saying, that this guy, the world is better off without him. That's what well, with politicians, you didn't hear any of this. You didn't hear anyone in power. That's how the reaction on the left was. On the right, people clowning about it, just the president of the United States. That's it. Like that's the primary difference here, is that the people with power who actually exude the worst parts of humanity and comes up, it's all from the right, or generally from the right. Am I right, John?
Yeah, no, and that's the really funny part. Like they said that, they were saying that before Trump. Like, I could not believe I was seeing, before Trump said anything about it, I could not believe I saw Republicans going, "Oh, the right would never say anything bad about this." It was like, you're aware of the shoe that's about to drop, right? Like, we all
have to know.
Have to go insane on this, and get a fucking erection over Rob Reiner's death, and you're just like really putting yourself out there, and they don't give a shit. Like, I know they don't give a shit. That's odd for that they instantly went to that. Like, just they know the guy as well as I do. They know Trump's gonna fucking say some shit about this. And TJ, it looks like you're pulling up what Trump did end up saying.
I am, but I got a comment here from Daniel saying TJ Whitehead is a loser. Dad, how many times do I have to tell you to stop commenting on my videos like this, Dad? This is not fun. I do my best to make you proud, and you have to do this and embarrass me in front of John like this. It's not cool, man. All right, let's go with our dear and glorious leader's reaction to Ron Reiner getting brutally murdered. A very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling, but once very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away, together with his wife Michelle, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS. He was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of President Donald J. Trump, with his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as the Trump administration surpassed all goals and expectations of greatness, and with the golden age of America upon us, perhaps like never before. May Rob and Michelle rest in peace. I have to give it to Trump for his non-cordial cordialities that he does at every holiday. I would like to wish a happy Thanksgiving to the scum and losers of the world who have been shitting on me. And even when I remember when Trump became president, this is the moment that I feared the most, that after national tragedies, he would be the spokesperson of the nation. Like, whenever there was a school shooting or a POW or something like that, or a high-profile murder, we get stuff like this. And I got to say, he hasn't let us down.
It's not just that he hasn't let us down. He's gotten better at it. Like, that was a hilarious post. And again, utterly despicable. But I feel like we're past that. The people who are honestly like more confusing to me are the people who are like, especially the Republicans who are like, I don't know, Trump shouldn't have said that about Rob Reiner. And I'm like, what? like I saw people legit make posts, and this, I swear, like, when I see it and they're not real people I know, I'm like, this must be a bot or something. But they're like, oh well, this Trump went too far. I'm like, this is what fucking did it. Like, that he is gloating over the death of one of his enemies. You guys didn't see this coming. This isn't like in line with your expectations of one Donald J. Trump, because it was the only thing that was like especially crazy to me is him insinuating that he drove his son, like his son murdered him in Donald Trump's name to defend Donald Trump's honor is the reason that his son murdered him. That is an actually wild and dangerous thing to say. But like, am I going to get upset about this? Like, what?
I know.
Like, are you really serious with me right now? This is your fucking line.
John, that's a good point, because I remember I saw this article that it was something talking about how the White House or Congress, like some official line was flooded with calls from Republicans being upset about Donald Trump addressing the situation with Rob Reiner. I said, "Are you serious? You're upset? How could you possibly be shocked by this? This is what he does every time. Like, he should be mad at you. Like, this is if he does the same thing for 10 years and then on the 10th year in one day he does the same thing, you blow up, you're the crazy one. And then I thought, well, actually, so am I. Why am I mad at Republicans? This is what they do all the time. Like, they special plead and the shit, it doesn't seem to matter. So yeah, this is the weirdest part about it, was that he made it all about himself. I don't remember seeing anyone after Charlie Kirk got shot saying, well, that's what he gets for making fun of my Substack. I've never saw that. But Donald Trump is like, aha, this must be because he doesn't like me. That is a level of narcissism hitherto unforeseen. That was kind of wild.
Hitherto unforeseen. I mean, that is what we're getting to. Like, we're getting to peak narcissism of a rarely seen variety in human nature. Like, it is. And honestly, if you're a narcissist and you become president and then win and get the presidency back, what
twice? Yeah, won it twice.
Like, he deserves his narcissism for all we care. Like, how could he not be the most narcissistic person on the planet?
I agree. I have gone on record many times saying that Donald Trump is blessed by God. If there's one human being who has been clear, who's obviously blessed by Oz, the great and powerful, the creator of the universe, that is Donald Trump. You can't tell me otherwise. And that all the talk of, manifestation and just speaking things into reality, Donald Trump has done this his whole life. That he has no business being president of the United States. And no one deserves a cult, but I can't think of anyone less deserving of a cult than Donald Trump, and he's got one. I would be narcissistic too, right? He has no reason not to be. I get it. I just don't understand why people are kind of shocked by it.
Yeah, and we have just a comment from Joshua here, and he says, soy boys who have gaping assholes. Might change the channel description to soy boys who have gaping assholes, TJ. That is quite a good one, Joshua. I do appreciate it.
The only gaping asshole I have is your mom's that sits in front of me every night when I go. That one, that belongs to me. It's tell her, thank her for the great work. Let's see. Gnostics got it right. God is real and super evil. Listen, we've talked about this, John. If you operate under the assumption that God exists and is evil, it answers a lot of philosophical questions. I always say that if you assume God is evil, things start to make a lot more sense. They certainly don't make less sense. They always make more sense if you assume that, why are children born with bone cancer? Why do good things happen to bad people? Why does life need to consume other forms of life to stay alive? Oh, that's right, because God, he relishes in our suffering and he enjoys it. If you want to talk about, well, what does evil mean? Like, what is that's just you know what that means, right? Like, you're fooling yourself and you know it. Like, the evil, to the extent that the word evil means anything to human beings, like suffering and pain for the sake of suffering and pain and the pleasure of it, it makes sense. I'm not saying that's what I believe, but it's easier to believe that God is apathetic and amoral than that God is actually loving and caring.
Yeah, no, I don't know, like I don't believe in good and evil, so it's hard to say. Like, if God is evil, it makes more sense. But I'd be much more willing to believe the existence of a God who is not all knowing, all loving, and all powerful. Like, that's the part that really trips me the fuck up. Is that's impossible. Like that those three things cannot all be true at once in our lived experience of reality.
John, I just talked about that. Like, good and evil. It's to the extent that the word evil means anything. If you enjoy the suffering of others when it has no actual benefit, like, fine, you can call it whatever you want, but whatever that is, I think that would apply to God.
I might actually believe that God was a thing at some point, and he's just been AFK for a little bit. Like,
that's kind of
gone off the rails a little bit.
Speaking of the Gnostics, Cam-1's been killing it. Cam-1, are you like is this Kyle? Or I don't know.
Kyle, yeah.
Okay, all right. Gnostics believe that the universe was made by an evil deity who keeps us trapped in the material world to play around with us. Like, if you ever want to read an interesting one, look into Marcion. Marcion, I can't remember where Marcion was from. He was an early Christian bishop, and he's the first person who had the idea to put together a New Testament. And his New Testament was, I think, the book of Luke, the book of Acts, and a few of Paul's epistles. And his whole idea was like a Gnostic one, that the universe was created by God, like a demiurge, and that this God was evil. He was cruel, and that Jesus, and that there's a new God, which honestly, and he completely left the Old Testament behind. The Christians should have gone with Marcion, because that would have been a much more sensible and reasonable and understandable interpretation of the religion, other than trying to loop the Old Testament God and the New Testament together. They're incompatible. It doesn't make any sense. So, but yeah, look into it sometime if you guys got some extra time.
I also want to bring up this comment here. It sounds like women calling someone narcissist just because it's a buzzword. First of all, I don't think you understand what narcissist means. Like, genuinely, Joshua, I don't think you know what the definition of narcissist is. You said sounds like women calling. Like, what does being women have to do with any of that? Second, if you, again, I can get along with Trump supporters. I can have conversations. We can have debates. We can disagree to disagree on things. If you can't agree that Donald Trump is a narcissist, what the fuck are we doing here? You can make the argument he's a good president, I like his policy, and he's a narcissist, and we can have a debate. If you're going to sit here and tell me you think Donald Trump isn't a narcissist, what are you even fucking going off of? Like, it explains his actions better than any other fucking lens to view his actions through. Like, he is a narcissist who only cares about himself and his own perceived grievances. Like, that is it. That's all. It explains everything he does very neatly. I cannot imagine living a life where you actually think he isn't a narcissist.
Yeah, the best example of this is when 9/11 happened, and he was on the radio. I don't remember if you saw this, John, but after 9/11, like the day of 9/11, they were doing an interview with Donald Trump on the radio, and he's like, says, well, the Twin Towers have been knocked down, and up until today, I had the second largest building in New York. Now I have the tallest building in New York. So I think that's just a perfect example. And of course, Donald Trump would say that, right? Of course he would say that. He makes everything about himself.
Rob Reiner was murdered by his own son in cold blood, and he made it about himself. Like, TJ, like, I'm not even using it as an insult. It's just a description. In fact, I like that about the guy. Like, it makes him way more predictable and easy to deal with.
Just admit what he is and roll with it. That's the thing too. It's just so cowardly. Like pretending Trump is like an actual upstanding person with decent morals, or even like a coherent political ideology. Just admit what he is. He's a carnival barker. You guys like suffering, you like pain, and you like seeing Trump inflicted on people who seem weird to you. If you just, I respect those people a hell of a lot more. I respect Nick Fuentes a hell of a lot more than your average Republican. Way more than your average. Nick Fuentes will get on TV or whatever, and he says that, yeah, I think that the white race is being exterminated, and I think we need to remove minorities and have like a Catholic supremacist state. All right, just be open with what you want. Don't be someone who's all namby-pamby about it. That's all I agree.
We said that all the time. We should make a tier list of like the most respectable, despicable people. Like the most ethical assholes in the world. Like I that should be a tier list that we make.
Frank says, come on, man, you guys are living good. You Democrats under the poor guy like me. Oh, actually, hold on. That's not the one I wanted to say here. But dude, you're talking about Trump, bro. Please lend me $20. You know what's going on. Trump took my food stamps. Put your address in the comments. We will send it to you. Put your full name and your address and your phone number, and I'll get that $20 to you. I'll take a screenshot and get it sent to you. All right. New favorite TJ quote just dropped. I don't even know what that would have been in reference to. I kind of want to know what he's saying. I kind of know what that is too. And hold on, Colby or Kyle, one of them said something. I'm not gonna look back at the comments, but someone wrote that the term narcissist is overused. That is true. That is true. Like whoever the commenter wrote that, the one who was being contrarian or whatever, there is kind of a thing where if you listen to any like women's content or whatever, every woman's ex-boyfriend was a narcissist. Like there's just no chance.
I see what you're saying there. I definitely perceive it as being overused by women more than men. I would agree with that.
Especially when it comes to their partners. I listen to a lot of red pill content is great. Red pill content is toxic and it's evil, whatever. But it's fun to listen to. Like I listen to it, it's like, oh man, that's
captivating.
It is captivating. But
cannot hate it too much because it is great entertainment.
Yes. But also if you get into, I don't know, like pink pill stuff, I don't know if there's a name for whatever, but with like a side of the internet with like legitimate misandrists, people who
Mhm.
think that men are just excess portion of the population, men are like this biological essentialism that men are just born evil, they can't help themselves. You can get down this rabbit hole pretty deep, but the stuff they say, a lot of this, that men are just natural born narcissists and stuff. Yeah, there is a lot of that stuff out there, and then that bleeds into a lot of the mainline community where people say that you talk to a girl and it's kind of like that's my ex-boyfriend was a narcissist is the female equivalent of my ex-girlfriend was crazy. It's just
Mhm.
overused stuff people like to say all the time.
Yeah, no, a narcissist is overused, but like in this particular case, no, it's not. We're not exaggerating. This is the straightest shot I could possibly call about Donald Trump.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a clinically trained psychologist, but if I were to take off a few years to become one, I am supremely confident that at the end of that, I'd say, yep, my conclusion is the same. Donald Trump is a narcissist. I would love to see someone say otherwise.
Yeah, no, and I believe that's how Zohan just fucking walked all over him. It's just
That
he played to his ego and just it worked so fucking well.
it's like Trump. What gets me the most is that he doesn't really have any ideology, and so you can do that to him. It's kind of disturbing how well that works, and that people put a lot of effort, a lot of time, risk their lives, their fame, their reputation, their fortune to try to accomplish something, and Trump does none of that, and just got millions of people on board with it. I don't know if we'll ever see anything like it again. I really don't. Like all the people who I think most of the Republicans don't have the riz that Trump has, they couldn't possibly rise to the heights that he has. The ones who do, like we talked about before, like Tucker Carlson or something. Tucker Carlson does. I don't know how much he believes in, but he at least can put forward like a coherent ideology and explanation of his fascist utopia that he wants. Trump couldn't do that.
No.
Trump could never do it to save his life, and it somehow worked. But life's not fair, and it was never meant to be.
Life is not fair. But we have 5 minutes left here. I did want to say before we ended here, since we do cover media and politics a lot, what is your favorite Rob Reiner film?
Oh God, I was. I don't know if I have a favorite Rob Reiner film in particular. I have to look at the discography or whatever. I liked him in. I liked him in Archie Bunker. I liked him that.
Okay.
Before the show started, I remember saying that I forgot he was in Wolf of Wall Street. Dear, he was the dad in Wolf
Yeah.
of Wall Street. I really loved him.
When you said that, I was like, "How did you forget that?"
I
But that's okay.
completely forgot about it. I saw a clip of it. It's like, oh, that's right. Did he do The Princess Bride?
No, maybe, but I think you're thinking of the other. and I can't even explain to you who I think the other guy is in this sentence, but I really hope the audience does. But no, my favorite.
No, it was produced by Rob Reiner. Okay, never mind. All right,
Rob Reiner.
Yeah.
Oh, he did. Okay, yeah, he produced it. Yeah.
Mhm.
But no, my favorite and one of my favorite movies ever is When Harry Met Sally. Like I would put When Harry Met Sally up against most other movies, and it will usually win in my mind. I think it's one of the best movies ever made. That is timeless. Hands down. Like I can never get enough of that movie. I watch it every single year.
I have never seen when Harry Met Sally.
What?
No,
DJ, you've never seen When Harry Met Sally?
But Heather and I were talking about this yesterday because I was like, oh, Rob Reiner died, and that's like, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure he did When Harry Met Sally. I think that's like what he's most known for. And we were talking about we've both seen scenes from it, but never saw it all the way through. So I can't say it's on my list. I know it's a great film.
TJ, go watch Harry Met Sally. It is so good. It is, and it's unique, unlike anything else. I think A Few Good Men. I know we.
Oh my God! I was right about to say A Few Good Men. A Few Good Men is so great, man. God damn, I love A Few Good Men so much. That is.
But A Few Good Men is one of those movies. It's an elevator movie where like you got to get to the top floor until it's good. Like it's kind of the build to the climax. The climax is so good it pays off that build, but it's not a.
I don't know. A Few Good Men. I can't say enough about A Few Good Men. The only problem with A Few Good Men is that Colonel Jessup is too good of a bad guy because he's one of those bad guys that people quote him as if he's the good guy, which Which does speak to how fucking great, you know, the execution and the writing and the delivery was of that role. But you hear people saying you rise and sleep under the blanket of the very freedom that I provide, and then question the manner in which I provide it, as if that's the protagonist. Like, no, that's the not the war criminal, but the murderer talking right here. You shouldn't be quoting that guy. But Few Good Men, fantastic film.
That is an all-time, like, oh, you fucked up by making this villain, because a lot of people identify with that, and it's so good because it's accurate. It's so good because it really makes you question. But like, I actually don't think the film does a very much good enough job of saying, he's the
bad guy.
He's wrong.
Hey, 5 points to Colby here. Yeah, I'm sure TJ does love a Few Good Men. That was good. That was good. That was good. I enjoyed that. Fantastic. You still have not played Red Dead Redemption 2. I know you haven't, because you told me you weren't ever going to. And there's a funny line in Red Dead 2 is like, he seems like a nice fella. Oh, yeah. It seems like you love nice fellas. That reminded me of that. But good shit right there. All right. Who do we got set up for Thursday, John? Do we have a guest?
We got Jake the Leftist on Thursday. He's a green guy. This could go well, guys. This could go bad. I don't know much about him. I know he has a great presence on Threads, and he has never done a podcast before. So we are swinging for the fences here on a total unknown. Last week, I was like, this guy's got it. This week, we don't know. So stay tuned to see if Jake the Leftist has what it takes to be a good guest of the left wing.
Let's hope so. Last week's guest was really good. I followed him, and he said he was doing a show Friday night from 7 to 10 or 8 to 10, and I didn't see it on his TikTok. Does he do it? Do you know if he does it somewhere else?
I think he might have been talking about a different show of his that he does with that.
Oh, okay. I thought he was doing TikTok Live. Okay, that was.
But he does the TikTok Lives. I should do that. Maybe this week. I don't know. We'll see.
And they're very sensorious.
He said to just hit him up on TikTok and let him know, hey, I'll drop by, and then drop by.
Great, good stuff. All right, well, thank you guys for joining us. Great comments. That was fantastic. I had a great time. We will see you on Thursday. Have a good one. Oh, that was fun. I needed that.